that there was this great division, and therefore this was a weakening, and it had a weakening effect as regards confrontation with Islam. Something to think about. Well, 12. He dwelt among us, full of grace and truth. He proclaimed and established the kingdom of God, and made us know in himself the Father. Establish the kingdom of God. Now, most of the time when our Lord uses the term kingdom of God, he is not referring to the next life, the afterlife. Most of the time when you come across the expression kingdom of God or kingdom of heaven, Luke usually uses the term kingdom of God. Matthew, kingdom of heaven. Some think that the reason why Matthew used kingdom of heaven is because remember, Matthew was writing for his fellow Jewish converts, and that expression, kingdom of God, might have been offensive to some Jewish sensibilities, and so Matthew substituted heaven for God. Whereas in Luke, who was writing for his fellow Gentiles, he used the kingdom of God. And our Lord, when he used the term, generally was not talking about the afterlife, the next world. I mean, what are the first words of his public life? After he spent the 40 days in the wilderness, he returned to Galilee and began to go about saying what?
The kingdom is among you.
Repent, the kingdom of God is near. He didn't say it's far off in the next life. It's near. I'm establishing it on earth, because he began the establishment in his lifetime. And if you read the 15th chapter of First Letter to the Corinthians, where you have all the description about the last judgment and the general resurrection, it says, then he will deliver his kingdom to his Father. It will be at the end of time that his kingdom reaches completion, and then he delivers it to his Father then at the end of time. He gave us his new commandment, to love one another as he loved us. He taught us the way to the beatitudes of the gospel, poverty in spirit, meekness, suffering, borne with patience, thirst after justice, mercy, purity of heart, will for peace, persecution, suffer for justice' sake. These are what? The beatitudes, right? He suffered under Pontius Pilate, the Lamb of God, bearing on himself the sins of the world. He died for us on the cross, saving us by his redeeming blood. He was buried, and of his own power rose the third day, raising us by his resurrection to that sharing in the divine life, which is the life of grace. We'll come back to that in a moment. He ascended to heaven. He will come again, this time in glory, to judge the living and the dead, each according to his merits. Read the 3rd chapter of 1 Corinthians. Very, very, very clear there. 5th chapter of St. Paul's second letter to the Corinthians says that we must all appear before the tribunal of Christ to give an account of what we've done in the body, in the flesh, whether good or evil. It isn't a case of whether or not one is a believer or unbeliever. The judgment is not going to be on the basis of believer versus unbeliever. Paul says clearly, according to what one has done in the flesh, either good or evil. And the two resurrections, if you read the 5th chapter of John, our Lord talks about at the end of time, the resurrection to glory, the resurrection to, anybody got a word? Condemnation. I think that's the only place in the New Testament where you find that. It's there in the 5th chapter of John. That there are two resurrections, one to glory, one to condemnation. And it's not on the basis of whether one is a believer or not a believer. It's on the basis of what one has done, good and evil in the flesh. All right, back to sharing in the divine life, which is the life of grace. Now, I mentioned to you a moment ago, earlier, that it appears that St. Paul uses the word grace in two ways. One, referred to the graciousness of God. God so loved the Son, He gave His only begotten Son, and so forth and so forth. That's God's graciousness. And the Son gave Himself for us. That's graciousness. However, the destiny we have is for union with God. Now, the gap between divine nature and human nature is immense. Our human nature is in the image and likeness of God. Image and likeness is not the same. There is a vast distance between divine nature and human nature, and the relationship going on between the persons of the Blessed Trinity. But that is our destiny. Our destiny is that. Now, if you read the 13th chapter of St. Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, where he writes about what authentic love, authentic charity is about. Remember, he says all those qualities. And then he goes on to say that now we are known in part. We know in part. Then we shall know fully as we are known. You see now, as in the old translation was in a glass darkly. What the heck did that mean? In a glass darkly. Our more current translation would say, as in a mirror. Well, when you look at a mirror, you get a 100% reflection, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, in St. Paul's days, the mirrors that were in common use were polished metal. So when the person looked at his image and the metal of the mirrors of that, it was distorted. You know, if you look at your face in say a stainless steel coffee pot, it's distorted. And that's the point St. Paul is making. We know now as partly, like in a mirror. Then we shall know as we are known. God knows us perfectly. However, we do not know God perfectly now. Then we shall know as